Well, hey Aries, I am wrapping up with you cardinal signs, and I apologize for being late, but here I am, your metal dog, ready to look into the effects of the full moon that is rising right now over here in Flagstaff, Arizona. It'll be up in 3 hours, full. So, we'll read these cards for you and see what this moon is bringing in for you. Pisces moon, full moon. We'll look at some other things going on out there and just ask how their various effects are showing up in the life of an Aries. So first, an overall card from the Good Tarot. Seven of Earth. You were putting the work in and you were waiting for it to grow. We have here this strange card, I always think, for that message of a Seven of Earth. It's Seven of Pentacles, waiting for the fruits of your labor to bloom. I don't actually see how this card is about that, honestly. It's like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell kind of a story here. So we'll see what that's about as we go along. I always just think he's such a beautiful person. We have, going on underneath. Quite a bit. Okay, Aries, you've got a lot going on underneath the surface, including the devil. But let's see. You are about to embark upon a moon journey, or this is about the full moon that is coming up right now. Secrets, intuitions, card of Pisces. It's a Pisces full moon right now. There's something about a new love. Ace of Water, self-love, divine love, true love coming in or around you. Also, this is like marriage, celebration, another soulmate kind of card. I mean, more than Ace of Water, which could be some other kind of love, but Four of Fire. This is who you can be yourself with. You see this little fairy playing on her pipe, calling to you. Well, kind of like this scene here, right? Somebody is calling to the other. And there's more underneath. A Nine of Air, some anxiety. This is your mind going around and around and around, keeping you awake at night. I'm trying to take that flight, but your brain is, it's like these birds are telling you you can't fly. You're just, these wings aren't big enough probably for real, but not to add to your anxiety. I saw this Queen of Fire, Aries. Your suit is fire, wands, sexiest lady in the tarot. She is the queen of the law of attraction, creative, able to bring in her vision for the world. And then you have temptation. It's like love obsession in this, or obsession with food or money. It's your just obsessing. You're trapped in these desires that are not like this Ace of Water, like from the divine level. Well, let's see what's going on. That's a lot. We're going to ask some specific questions of the cards here, Aries, and look into your present and a little bit into your future. See if this can help you make sense of your life. All this underlying energy. Okay, we're going to cut this deck. Use tarot. ask 6 questions. So 6 cards. First question is, with this Pisces full moon, you ought to be seeing something dissolving. Perhaps something you've finished. Oh, good. Your anxiety is dissolving. The 9 of Voices, which is here twice now. So this is, you may have been in some anxiety, and this is dissolving, which is lovely. We'll find out more upon clarification. So, yes. That is dissolving. What in your everyday life can you be grateful for? This is the effect of the sun, which is currently in Virgo, which has that practical daily existence and needs a little help with recognizing what is accomplished instead of obsessing about what needs to be done. It's Virgo is a very intellectual suit, and so here we have voices of the mind. This is the suit of air and swords. It's a 6 of voices, and it is about moving from one mindset to another. So something in your everyday life, the things you do weekly, just from there, maybe the places that you take for granted and count on, they've actually helped you to change. So it would be like having a job that somehow teaches you about yourself or brings you to a new understanding about something. That you just go to work and all of a sudden you change. So voices and voices, lots of swords and air for you, Aries. There are 4 planets in retrograde, and we want to know when things are in retrograde, you are reviewing. And it says here, you are reviewing the Queen of Voices. This would be something that you got clarity on, and you probably took decisive action on in recent months. We will find out more. Interesting. Again, you're up in your mind, Aries. There's a lot of other suits going on here, but this 9 of air, it's like you've been in anxiety. You were able to, through your daily life, your practice, your discipline, you're able to move into a different place. And in doing so, you recently got clarity and very possibly removed some things, some people from your life. You were relooking at that. Now we want to ask what the tarot wants you to know. It's hidden from you right now. So you may not be aware of this, but you or someone around you is having this 4 of Cups, ho-hum, been there, done that, worldview. It's a small view. As you can see, they're focusing on this, and look what they're sitting in, this beautiful cup. This is the Ace of Cups that you have seen here. So if you aren't seeing this, or if you're offering this to someone who's receiving it like that, I think Gemini had a reading like that last month, or you're receiving somebody's love offer that way, the tarot wants you to know about that. There is some kind of incitement, a disruption, something coming in as a result of Uranus in Taurus, and it is justice. This is inciting you to take action, justice. That's a great motivation for you, Aries. And I think of my Aries friends as being very much justice warriors or concerned with justice in general. So this strong impulse in you already, Aries, is going to cause you to take action somewhere in your life. It looks like work, but we'll find out more. There's a lot going on in your brain. In the future, underlying there is also this fire, water, love. There's lots of love stuff in the underlying feeling. But these readings, these cards here, voices, 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 and a Knight of Voices. In the future, you are going to take quick action, carrying a message of truth, or something is going to come in. A messenger of truth is arriving. This can be a person who kind of like the Queen of Voices here. She can be read as cold, because she's up in her head, and we tend to think of our minds as cold. I don't think of minds that way. And air is the suit of spring, which is certainly not cold. Winter is a cold. Earth is cold. But the Knight of Voices is sometimes read as angry. It's a beautiful image of a cloud in front of the sun. So there's something blocking happiness. The sun represents happiness. And this Pegasus is coming here to call your attention to something that is, I think, blocking your access to happiness. You're being called towards it by this Ace of Water, Four of Fire, Queen of Fire. I feel like that's you. I feel like you're in a place, though, like this very person who's being called by this Four of Fire. This be somebody that really gets you, sees you, understands you. You're experiencing anxiety around this. You're definitely in your fire, Queen of Fire, temptation. Like, you're full of desire and willpower, but you're really up in your head. And this isn't changing. Like, even though your anxiety is ending, you're still really in your head through this. So let's find out more. What's going on the bottom of this? The Hierophant. Awakening. 2 cards. 2 significant cards. So this is structural power institutions. The Hierophant is often religious institutions. So this is affecting you. But there's also you being called to, it's like a spiritual calling here. You're called to ascend to your highest self, which is quite different from this devil temptation energy, which is what we would in tarot interpret as a selfish, self-centered, materialistic, not of a higher spiritual calling. That this awakening and the Hierophant both speak to, like, the Hierophant is a mentor sometimes, somebody that inspires you and guides you. You can also read it that way instead of as structural power. So that's what I actually see coming in, is like an Ace of Water. So there's this tension between some desire that you have and something higher that you are being called towards. And I'm a proponent of going with your desire, but it can slow us down on our journey. So there's some kind of truth. You're struggling with concepts, paradigms, frameworks, logics, ideas. Your mind is very big. It's doing a lot of the work of your life right now. And let's see why. So, what is dissolving? 9 of Voices. We get the Hermit. There's that Virgo energy where the sun is in Virgo, opposite of Pisces, which is where the moon is. There's your 6 of Swords again. This is this very same card that we have coming up next. The daily life that changes your mind. So this is the little family. He's rowing with willpower. This is the mind, your swords, rough water, moving to calmer waters. So there is, yes, there's this tension of the Virgo energy where the sun is, and the swords energy that's really navigating feelings that are causing anxiety and really do need you to change your frame of mind here. And finally, this is about your emotional wish fulfillment in and of yourself, a 9 of Cups. You are, in order to dissolve this anxiety, you need to quit doing what the Hermit does, which is awesome in many cases. The Hermit reflects on the past. The Hermit is always shining his lantern backwards in this traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So he's looking on my table backwards in time, and he's looking inward to his wisdom of his life. And for some of us, we actually need a little help changing how we make sense of our past, so that we're not constantly anxious. This is when you've had trauma. So the cards here with the Six of Swords show you moving forward towards the future, away from the turmoil of your emotional past. And that will dissolve your anxiety and lead you out of a Nine of Swords and into a Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, contentment in and of yourself. So that's what this full moon is saying loud and clear to you, Aries, right now. Okay, so in your everyday life, through the influence of the Sun in Virgo this month, you are changing your mind, and you are grateful for this. So let's find out more. You're in the Six of Swords. There's the healing, divine support of the star, wish fulfillment again, except in the major arcana, which is bigger, more significant. A Four of Swords, there's more healing. Hello, are you healing? Or you're a healer. And there's that Devil. There's the idea that you don't deserve more, or that you're just, this is your moon journey that we saw here. This is you really examining your life, the details. The Devil's in the details, because Virgo is causing us to think about how the details are giving us insight, changing us, healing us. It's obviously healing is coming out of your daily life. I know one Aries who's a therapist, so it makes me think about also being a healer as a part of your daily life. You could be like a nurse. And so this is actually the kind of healing and moving from the turmoil of the codependence, the self-doubt, the undermining influence of the Devil that feels like a trap. Now you can see the Lovers here. This is a card of Capricorn. So do you see these two figures? They're chained up. They're not very tightly chained. It's just hanging around his neck. My dog could easily slip that chain. So this idea that you're trapped is in your mind again. It's like an Eight of Swords. The Devil has things in common with various negative cards in the tarot where your thinking is wrong. The main card that you have here about wrong thinking is actually this Four of Emotions. So maybe that'll be related. We'll see. So you're revisiting, let's just say you recently got clarity and you decided to act decisively and just get rid of something in your life. That's the Six of Voices energy here. Queen of Voices. These weeks of teaching, I just am not used to talking so much, and so it's harder for me to be disciplined in my speech at the end of these weeks, so pardon me. Okay, Queen of Voices. What else? You're revisiting this. This happened recently. There's a Page of Swords. Just open-minded, curious, be a little snoopy on the internet. More swords, right? Lots of mind here. Your brain there's a burden that you had to put down some kind of burden here. It's the quit your job card. You quit something recently, right? And you left and went on a journey, Eight of Cups, towards greater contentment. This is coming up in, I think, all three of the readings I did today, that this is much like the moon. It's a journey, spiritual journey. There are 8 cups. You can see that the ninth is missing. The ninth cup, your wish fulfillment, this seems to be about this in some way. Because we have the seven of earth here, there's a seven of earth. This seems to be work related, very practical, kind of. And you're being called, some little fairies like telling you something. And I'm really still thinking about how that card is about a seven of earth. So you could be, it's often like in this traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, it's like a guy hoeing in his garden, waiting for and there's all these pentacles growing on the vine. So that's a seven of earth. Maybe it'll come up again. You'll see what I mean. But this is really about the kind of thoughts you have while you're working patiently, steadily, with discipline. You're thinking, isn't there more? Isn't there more? So here we get this. This is what the tarot wants you to know. Says, yes, there is more. You're sitting right in it. There's also this ace of water here for you. There's a four of fire here. You're the queen of fire, Aries. So there's more for you here. So let's see. It seems to be hidden from you, but the tarot wants you to know. A Knight of Swords, right? We've seen this. Where's the Knight of Swords? No. Here's your Knight of Swords. Okay. So the truth is coming in fast. It's riding towards the past. Here's your Hierophant. This is structural power. I feel like it's some kind of a mentor or spiritual guide, teacher. And then there's a Five of Wands, chaos, competition, creative, fun. Everybody has an idea. They're getting it into the mix. Often read as a negative card. I like the Five of Wands. It's fun. Everybody's on the same level. There's no emperor. That's your card. There's no boss. So when you reflect upon the past, you have this idea of the past that it's so built into you. It's like an institution, like the Hierophant. And the tarot says you're wrong about that idea, even though it feels like God. It's like the message of God. You're wrong. At least you're wrong to base your hopes for the future on that. When you realize this, you may feel conflict inside of you. It's going to shake up your thinking. This is what the Five of Wands tells you. Okay, I was just looking back at the Ten of Wands, and it goes really well with the Queen of Voices, because when she cuts out what is unneeded, it's putting a burden down and then walking away on a spiritual journey. So you seem to have something in your mind that you need to remove. It's burdening you. It's like a Hierophant level burden, right? So the Hierophant's here twice. And it's looking on the table towards this Hierophant and here's Awakening, the card of Ascension, Judgment, traditionally called Judgment. This is obviously being called to this higher spiritual calling. This is what's holding you back. It's an old concept of some kind. It's an old frame of mind. It's causing you anxiety. You need to change your mind about something. You need to heal this. It's causing you to be in this devil energy. It's big. This is big. You're being called, Aries, to... I feel like this has been going on with you for a while. Like, you're being called to set down something that you have been really happy having. There's a sacrifice that I remember reading you needed a long time ago. And then there was like a period of self-centeredness that we saw you go through. And now you're coming in with a frame of mind that you need to release. But let's see. So here you're being incited to do this by a sense of justice. Let's see. Truth, Ace of Swords. This is in every reading. There is a message of truth. It is the new idea in your reading here, but I'm really interested. Why are we getting this in every reading, an Ace of Swords? And not that I don't pull out a lot of cards, but you just notice when you're doing readings that it's almost like there's a collective commonality, right? And I'm asking about what we're all under, which is the same stars and the moon and the sun. It's the same cosmos arranged in the same way, and wherever we are on Earth, it's affecting us with the same energies, theoretically. So everybody's getting some kind of Ace of Swords and insight. So what else? Sorry. I can tell I'm getting a little punchy, and I'll go blah, 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 and say a bunch of nonsense. So that's good news. There is a Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, I always say. This truth changes things. It's not really in your power to change, so it's as if a truth, this is an incitement that's going to cause change in your life. And what I'm gathering is it's going to change not you. You're not going to be the change that you want to see in the world, right? There is some outside force that is caused to move by this Ace of Swords, this truth. And it changes. It appears to be in the direction of justice. There's a Five of Cups. This is loss, grief, mourning. It's like the Four of Cups where you're looking at these empty cups and there's something good behind you. You know, this is a process. It's a passageway in a five. Like, you grieve this, then you pick up this, you walk over that bridge, and there's your new life. There's change coming in for all of us. There's been towers and tens. You have a Ten of Wands. You have Wheel of Fortune. It's a very positive change. It causes us to grieve what we've lost. In your reading, there's looking to the past with increasing clarity and then turning forward in your life in a new direction. So there's grief in this, what you see in the past. This is like a moon journey where you examine your thoughts, your concepts, where they come from. And then this frees you to go forward. We see this happening fast in the future with this Knight of Swords or Knight of Inspiration. Voices in this deck. So let's see. You are way in your head, my dear Aries. The other people have been having this Nine of Voices dissolving too. I think Cancer had that. The same thing happened to Cancer. They were in anxiety and then this dissolved and they're able to move forward. Same thing's happening with you. It's just a different kind of anxiety in a subtle way. There you are on your new journey, freed of anxiety and charging forth, full of faith. That is a card I associate with Aries because it's the beginner card and you're the youngest in the zodiac. It's really associated with Aquarius. I mentioned the feeling of being trapped that the devil gives you. This is another version of that, the Eight of Swords. Your mind says you're trapped, but in fact you're not. Still kind of stuck in your mind. In the world, there's another card we're all getting. Something big, huge, big cycle is completing. Something big is ending in this future here, near future. And beginning. There's a new beginning here with the Fool. The world also tells us about endings and beginnings. And it's a repetitive message. You're awakening. You're ascending. That's that Judgment card that's such a beautiful card. I'll show you again. You're waking up to a truth. It's a new truth. It's causing you to change your life. You're done with something, and you're moving out of a sense of being trapped, and you're light and free like the Fool. This is how fortune has turned in your favor. Yeah, that's interesting. It's a very clear message, Aries. We don't need to belabor it. On the bottom here, lovely. We see you going forward very differently with your heart, or somebody coming into your life, a Knight of Cups, the classy love offer. The King of Cups is here as well. Emotional intelligence. Beautiful. And, interestingly, a Page of Cups, just a flirty little fun energy. And that's really also in the first underlying cards that we pulled. We had that Ace of Water and that Four of Fire, and then this Queen of Wands. There's like something fun and emotionally satisfying, because you have the cup cycle is here with Eight of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Something really emotionally fulfilling, wise, true blue love with the Ace of Cups here, directly and by suggestion here. There's also by suggestion the Two of Cups. And I'll tell you one more thing, since I started reading cards upside down. The Lovers. This is coming in. It's not here in this reading yet, but you might look forward to having a big choice and possibly meeting somebody who you connect with on all levels. Yeah. And then we get Justice again. So that's a nice full circle here. Justices come up for other readings today, and we see it here as inciting you. The Justice is often balanced on a sword, that sword of truth. That is a part of what we see clarifying justice. Interesting. Yeah, your brain is what this is all about, but it brings in emotional contentment and maturity on all levels. So that's your reading this month, Aries. I wish I had time to do more than one a month, but it's, good to have a little time pass so we can have some change and new questions. So let me know. I always say, let me know, and people rarely comment, but I appreciate comments. And I'll see you next time, or maybe I'll see you in your moon or your ascendant or your Venus, or some kind of cosmic reading. I just did a full moon in Pisces reading as well. So have a beautiful day, Aries. Thanks for letting me read your cards.